So this is what I'm talking about, guys. The leak. Look at the water just coming out of there. So it's almost, we almost cannot use this. Indie camper, guys. Indie camper.
I was planning a trip to Seattle, Washington for the 4th of July weekend, and I thought it would be a great idea to rent an RV. While looking around at different companies, I settled on the Indie Camper, located in Rancho, Dominguez, California. The reviews were decent and the price had my attention.
Just shut up. You had me at hello.
On Google, they had an overall rating of 4.2. Not too bad. But when diving deeper, the first review from Jasmine Cabrera was a disappointing 1 star. Yikes. Maybe I'll roll the die on this one and pray that nothing goes wrong. I mean, the company has been around since 2013 and has over 70 locations across 3 continents. What would they possibly gain by screwing over little old Asian me? So on July 2nd, I pulled up to their business for my pickup. I reserved the 4 Winds, a 22-foot long RV that could comfortably fit 6 humans.
Alright guys, we got it. We got the RV and we're ready to head out. Alright, so I'm in my camper right now, about ready to go on my trip. And this key right here, that opens the cargo, and it broke. So our stuff is locked in there. Our drain line is locked in. Our hose, all that stuff. So I gotta go back, unfortunately, to Indie Camper and see if they can unlock, have a spare, or see if they can get everything out for me. What a crazy start to a trip. So luckily the guys here know what to do. So it's this lock right there. So he's gonna put a brand new one in there. Hopefully it's the same key for everything. All right guys, so we are finally on the road. So I'm taking my High Winds Indie Camper, and currently we are on the 405. So wish us luck on our very first RV road trip.
Unfortunately, Indie Camper only gave me a quarter tank of gas. I'm hoping it's enough to get me through this crazy LA traffic and fill up at a truck stop.
So we're about ready to continue our trip. I just filled up on gas. Apparently the car or the RV takes about 30 gallons to almost fill up. But hopefully that's enough for us to get to our next stop, which will be Sacramento. We're at the Travel Authority here, right off the 5 when you pass the Grapevine. And it's almost, it's actually 8 o'clock right now. So it's very late. All right, we're ready to go. Here's everybody in the RV. I don't know if you can see that, but that right there is a wildfire.
I drove 5 more hours to the Elkhorn rest stop, and by the time I got there, I was dead tired.
Alright, so we're finally at the rest stop. The kids are fast asleep. It's 1:30 at night. So this RV doesn't have like a little privacy curtain right here, so we're just using our picnic mat. 6:41, almost 7 o'clock. It's pretty comfortable up here. Probably could have slept longer, but when you sleep at a rest stop, it is very, very noisy. But that's my space pretty much. I have the loft, which looks like that. And there's my family having their breakfast. And my son playing the piano. My Mozart. My 13-year-old Mozart. Okay, well, anyways, I'll just show you real quick where we slept last night. By the way, if you sleep on the loft, there's this net right here so you don't fall off. And this is tightened by this seatbelt buckle. Oh, hold on. There you go. Seatbelt buckle off. Grab my phone. There's a little space here. You can put stuff. And then I just step down. But there is actually an area here where you can attach a ladder. So I'll probably show that later. So that's where I slept. I put everything away. Sleeping bag, my pillow, and this platform can be moved out. So then we're now ready to get on the road, but before I go, I'll show you what the area looks like. Oh, I don't know why, but this truck was just on all night. I think it's refrigerated. And then there's my family. Here's our Indy camper. We're gonna be on our way. And you might be wondering why I didn't just use the toilet. It's because I don't want this thing to be stinky. But here's a trick I learned. Okay, well, you can take Calgon right here, and it already kind of stinks a little. Okay, so make sure you turn on the water first. And then you take a cap full of Calgon, put it in. This is a water softener.
By the way, the Calgon makes sure no poopy stuff gets stuck inside the tank.
And then you step on the pedal to flush. And then you take a cap full of Dawn soap, pour it in there, like so, and flush that down. Hopefully the stink's not gonna be there.
I learned this trick online, so wish us luck. After leaving the Elkhorn campground, we drove 2 more hours to Mount Shasta City Park.
So now I know that this will not fit in a normal parking spot. Well, because this RV has an external generator, we're gonna have to connect this cord to the external generator. Okay, so I connect one end there, then I connect the other end to the generator. Now I start the generator, and now our microwave works, which we will need so that my beautiful wife can prepare lunch. And I'm just gonna take the kids to get more water.
This park is known for its mountain spring water. Wow! We had to take advantage of it because it's not every day you can get water this fresh.
What's on the menu is rice, microwavable rice, which we usually don't need because it has preservatives. So Jen's already made 4 of them, and we're gonna have some seaweed soup, Korean seaweed soup. Mission complete. Lunch. Lunch on the road.
After lunch, we had another 3-hour scenic drive before our next break. We drove about 11 hours so far, and the gas mileage was killing me. I've spent over $500 and we still have another 5 hours to go. Well, anyways, I was getting tired, so I stopped at the Sutherlin Central Park. Sutherlin is located in southwestern Oregon, and it's a city with a population of only 9,000 people. We came here just in time for their annual music festival. Everyone was setting up for the concert, but unfortunately we won't be able to stay because we got a tight schedule. Today's act is the Bandoliers, and it seems like it'll be a high-octane rock show. Break a leg, guys. What am I saying? Just break all your legs. I hope they have a few crutches behind that stage.
Hey guys, so stopped over for a bit, take a nap in this little town in Oregon.
And that's the community center. I can just imagine all the bingo nights and birthday parties this building hosts.
So they closed off the parking lot. And there's a food truck right there. There is no one got shot by the dog at this splash pad. So we're just gonna relax for a bit in this park, and we'll see what it's all about.
Wow, the playground equipment looks pretty new here, and I've never seen one with an integrated splash pad. Right near the playground, the food vendors were setting up.
Got kettle corn. They even got Filipino food here. Authentic Filipino food. Music special. 2 redneck dogs.
Look at all these beautiful redwood trees. And did you know the city's main industry is timber? Also, we must be at the Sutherlin downtown because the city hall was right across the street. I could have sworn that was an Applebee's. And right at the corner was this war memorial. It's dedicated to the soldiers who died serving this country. And there's even a full-scale train with a caboose. Well, that was a nice little stroll, but it was time to get moving. But before heading off, I wanted to check out the creek.
Oh. Where's your force spring hat, Nolan? Oh, look at the creek. I wonder if there's a lot of fish in there. And this little girl is wet and needs to dry up before we head out again. Okay, Sutherlin, Oregon. Nice knowing you. Maybe we'll pass by again. Alright, so we're back in the RV. We got another 5-hour drive before we get to our RV park. Lake Pleasant RV Park. So this is what you call a cherry plum that Jen picked off the tree or the ground. But I will see how they taste. It's pretty sweet. It's like a plum. But it fell apart.
We finally reached our RV park late at night and got a good rest. This RV park has all the necessary hookups, but after turning the hose on, I discovered a giant leak in the shower.
So this is what I'm talking about, guys. The leak, you can see the water forming here, and it also leaks on this corner. Look at the water just coming out of there. So it's we almost cannot use this at all. Indie camper, guys. Indie camper.
Luckily, we were assigned a site near the park's bathroom. Hallelujah! We would have been a dirty, stinking mess by the end of the trip. Well, anyways, we spent 2 nights here and explored the Seattle region. And then I discovered the table leg completely fell off. Turns out it was hanging on by 1 screw. Luckily, I had my multi-tool, but if I wasn't able to fix it, we would be eating on the floor like an animal. We first had our lunch at Ivar's, which was 1 block away. This is a Seattle-based seafood chain that serves a killer fish and chips. Their clam chowder was pretty good too. Then after lunch, we took an Uber to Bartels Landing. They were holding their historical 4th of July parade. The parade participants were giving away tons of candy to the crowd. Sweet! Then we rented a kayak and paddled down the Sammamish River. This looks just like a postcard. Afterwards, we went back to the RV.
Here my son is competing in his favorite activity. Look at that. Homemade dinner. Made by my wife. And check this out. This ladder is supposed to latch on to some hooks here. But the hook, I don't know if you can see that, but the hook doesn't fit. It's just kind of loose here. That seems like a safety thing.
Whoever built this vehicle must have been drunk. After dinner, we explored the RV park and hit some cool trails. What a great way to end the day. Tomorrow, I'll be checking out of the RV park early in the morning and drive over to a Home Depot parking lot to leave the Indie camper for the day. I made sure to notify a worker to get permission. Then I Ubered over to the Seattle Convention Center. They were having the World Cubing Championship there. These are some of the best speed cubers in the world. I can't wait to see who wins. Later, I decided to explore the city and found this cool public library. The architecture was so impressive. And then for lunch, we went to the Pike Place Market, where we checked out this disgusting gum wall, found a $40 bucket of chips, observed some flying fish, ate some overpriced french fries, and saw the world's oldest Starbucks. Unfortunately, everything was way too overpriced, so we walked a few blocks to H Mart, which is a Korean supermarket chain. This was a more economical way to feed our entire family. Our friend then drove us back to our RV. Thank goodness it was still there. And we left Seattle around 4 p.m. where we took a break at this cool riverside park. Wow, that's the Columbia River.
Okay, we stopped by a random Park in Kalama, Washington. And there's this huge place here called Mountain Timber Market.
It's locked.
PM.
Oh man,
5 p.m.
I guess this place is closed. It looked like it was gonna be good. At least teeth is coming out.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, really coming out. It's very loose.
Well, at least this ice cream stand was still open, and I purchased 2 scoops and a cup. This should get the kids to stop whining.
Looked like they had a lot of things going on here. They had barbecue and some cornhole, minus the bean bags. And right down there is a concert and a giant totem pole. Wow. We're in Washington, Kalama, I think. Some random park. Some random beautiful park on a river with a beach and great music.
And as usual, my kids care more about their treat than being present. Okay, they finally finished. It's now time to dance. While we're busting a move, I might as well tell you a little about this park. This is the 5-acre Port of Kalama Marine Park. Some of their amenities include sports facilities, a river beach, restaurants, and the McMenamin's Kalama Harbor Lodge. And standing at 140 feet tall, Washington's tallest totem pole. This beauty was carved from a 700-year-old red cedar and was made for the 1962 Seattle World's Fair. And apparently this pier is a docking site for a cruise ship.
Look at that. It's a big river. And here is that beach.
I gotta say, this is the perfect spot to enjoy the sunset. One of my favorite things about road trips is discovering hidden gems like this. But even though there was so much to experience, all my kids wanted to do was play in the playground.
Of course, the kids always want to enjoy the playgrounds wherever they go. And I'm gonna go walk back through the beach. I want to see how soft the sand is. Oh, it's almost like beach sand.
Really nice. I could imagine spending a whole day here. You could also try testing out your balance on some random logs.
A nice little break before we head on down to Oregon.
I'd also like to mention that the Port Kalama Visitor Center is nearby. It houses a small museum so you can learn more about the region. Man, we did so much today, but I'm going to try to push it as far as I can before sleeping at the next rest stop.
Last day of the trip. Still in Oregon, but I believe we're in southern Oregon. About 30 minutes or 40 minutes away from Medford.
I was hoping to be closer to California, but I guess I'm going to have a very long drive today. I took my first break at Castle Crag State Park, where we took a really fun river hike. And it was the first time I drank some natural spring mineral water. Wow, it's carbonated. Afterwards, we drove a few more hours to have lunch at Bartels Giant Burger. Opened in 1975, they have 4 locations in the region. We were currently at their corning shop.
Central California, hot. But we're here at a burger place called Giant Burgers.
I'm curious to know how big these burgers actually are. Wow, this place is so busy, and it's like a little hole in the wall. The menu is pretty simple too. They serve hamburgers, fries, shakes, and a drink. And the kitchen is right there. They're on full display. No spitting on my burgers.
Oh, come on!
And if this is any indication on how big these burgers are, let's go.
Wow, this place is packed. How's Giant Burgers taste? Wait, hold on. This is the large fries? So 1 large fry you ordered.
Hey, these aren't giant. We paid over $8 for this meal, and it's no bigger than what we can get at In-N-Out.
The patty is from Harris Ranch. It's got tomatoes, lettuce, pickles, onions, and ketchup. But I'll say, I don't know if it's worth $8. We got large fries, but it doesn't look like large. Yeah, it must be inflation. This ain't no giant burger. This is just a regular burger. Giant burger wasn't giant enough, so we ended up having to supplement with our own food. false advertising. They could have just called it burger.
If it wasn't for the rice, we'd have left famished. And about an hour later, I got hit by a food coma, so we took a 30-minute break near Stockton. And while I was taking a nap, my son decided to play with my camera. Oh man, I'm getting so dizzy. We're now in the afternoon and I had about 6 more hours to go. And during that drive, I discovered our bathroom door kept locking.
Another thing is that this door handle kept locking, so we actually had to pull it off to open it. But I mean, these door handles are really cheap.
I originally planned to spend the night at Tejon, but the camper was literally falling apart, so I extended my drive 2 more hours, and we slept at our own driveway.
Alright, so that's our RV. That's the end of our trip. And we're gonna go back. We're gonna refill the propane, because they say you gotta refill the propane, and then return it to Indy Camper. So what had happened was that the U-Haul I went to, that they recommended to go to, was completely out of propane. So that means I'm just gonna have to return it on a not quite filled tank. So I'm just here. I'm gonna wait maybe 5 more minutes until they open. I believe they open at 8 o'clock. And then I'm gonna return the Indy Camper. It had a lot of issues, but I already read the reviews. I heard that was one of the problems with Indy Camper.
And before returning the vehicle, I found out I had to also dump the wastewater. When checking in, the worker told me they'd take care of it. Luckily, the manager was in a good mood and didn't charge me the $150 fee. So my overall score for Indy Campers is a whopping 2 stars. The flimsy key broke on me, the table leg and ladder were not secure, the door would randomly lock, and our bathroom had a leak. The other issues was somewhat minor, but a big reason for renting an RV is to have working plumbing, and because of the leak, we couldn't attach a water supply, which meant we couldn't comfortably wash dishes, take a shower, or even use the toilet. I relied on turning the water pump on and off after every use. I wish I could have got a discount, but at least the manager waived the $150 fee, but it was also his employee that gave me the wrong information. Another issue that's not Indy Camper's fault was the mileage. I didn't realize what a gas guzzler an RV would be. I spent $1,000 just on fuel. I know it would have cost half that if I rented a minivan. So would I get an Indy Camper again? Maybe I'll try it one more time, but it does feel satisfying to know they had to clean out all my sewage. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed these videos, here's some more suggestions. On this channel, I produce entertaining educational travel content, and if that's your thing, please consider subscribing. And with that, I'll see you on the next Pixix adventure.